Sex offenders against children are most likely of all major crimes to reoffend. The recidivism rates of that crime are higher than almost anything else.
According to a report released by the Department of Justice, a study found the sex crime rearrest rate was 4 times higher than the rate for non-sex offenders. Another report prepared for the North Carolina General Assembly confirmed that, adding they are most likely to reoffend in the first 5 years after release.
I can tell you defendants are hoping the victims won't report. They're hoping that. That way they can continue doing those type things.
It's an unfortunate reality in many places, including multiple cases in Eastern Carolina. An Ayden man, Jeffrey Hoffman, arrested in 2019, again in 2025 on multiple child sex offense charges. A Jacksonville man, Angel Cardenas, arrested in October on 3 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor, with a pending case from an arrest in July. Another Jacksonville man, Marcus Williams, also a registered sex offender since 2018, arrested on second-degree forcible rape in 2025.
It's frustrating. An individual like that needs to be in prison, needs to stay in prison.
In Onslow County, both the Sheriff's Office and DA have brought on more resources to address these crimes. Within the last 5 years alone, the DA's office added 2 sex offense prosecutors, a Superior Court Assistant DA, and a legal assistant.
We have quite a few sex offenses pending, rapes, sex offenses, indecent liberties involving adults and children.
The Sheriff's Office formed the Special Victims Unit in 2017. Now its staffing has more than doubled.
I have 7 detectives that work juvenile crime or child crime, and they're busy all the time.
The Child Advocacy Center also involved.
We work closely with the Child Advocacy Center, which helps us with the forensic interviews as well as the forensic examination of child victims.
According to the Sheriff's Office in Onslow County, there were 35 child sex abuse cases in 2023, then 101 in 2024. For 2025, there are 57. Prosecuting these crimes can be challenging.
You got to put a lot of resources in that in terms of time, preparation, meeting with victims, meeting with witnesses. But particularly with a child. You know, you've got a child who many times will not know to report or even how to report. So you've got delayed reporting many times.
The nonprofit RAIN, Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, runs the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Stefan Turkheimer says more children are reaching out than before.
The majority of callers actually to the online hotline are people under the age of 18. Most of those people are people that have already been victims or survivors of sexual abuse.
The problem becoming even more prevalent online. That's when the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force typically comes in.
These internet platforms sort of allow the abuse to occur in a private area and also for it to be aggrandized and then shared and monetized.
Once an arrest is made, it's up to the justice system to do its job. The district attorney tells me they tend to request higher bonds for these cases, but judges look at factors like the seriousness of the offense, prior criminal history, and home environment to determine whether a suspect is allowed to be free on bond while awaiting trial.
Put frankly, do you think the justice system we have now for these types of offenses is working?
I would say it's not working as well as it should.
Regardless of bond, Turkheimer says he sees all too often first-time sex offenders getting lighter sentences.
When I hear about something like this, it's always incredibly sad and shocking, and I wish I were surprised by it, but I'm really not.
Sheriff Thomas says he'd like to see stronger sentencing.
Do you think there's something that should be considered at a higher level that would help keep these people behind bars or prevent multiple offenses?
Certainly. I mean, as a law enforcement officer, you almost never feel like the sentence is suitable for the crime. And anybody that commits a crime against a child should be held to the maximum of whatever the guideline is for the offense they committed.
Meantime, D.A. Lee says the newly passed Arenas Law could make a difference.
The legislature just passed something, obviously, in light of what happened out in Charlotte. They just passed something dealing with bonds. And I think that's a step forward.
The law, named after Irina Zarutska. She was murdered on a Charlotte light rail train in August. Even though it was not a sex crime, in these cases, the law mandates stricter conditions for pretrial release and removes cashless bail for certain offenses.
It also gives everyone a little bit of time to sit back and pause and think, maybe I need to look at this case a little bit more before I just arbitrarily set a bond. And let's make sure we do this right.
As data shows increasing sexual abuse offenses nationwide, DA Lee says he expects that trend to continue because of more people reporting the crime. He encourages any victims to do the same.
You know, even though those cases are challenging, even though they may take a long time to get disposed, even though you may wonder if it's worth the effort, my message to you is, as a victim, you need to come forward. You need to let someone know, because nothing can change unless that case is investigated, unless those allegations are prosecuted, unless those allegations are dealt with. Nothing can change.